Hello and welcome to Tom's Dream Shop Works. This video is I'm building a workbench for my brother's new house garage. Follow along while we rip 12-foot pieces of southern yellow pine in half. In fact, it had to sit against the back of my shop and I had to lower it onto the blade. But since it was already against the wall, there was no kickback issues. We had to cull through these to get the good straight pieces. As you can see, there's some warpage. This is what we came up with for the top. We did the glue up in 3 sections of 7 boards. Here's the first one. Lots of planing. So we planed each one of the 3 sections separately to get them just flat. And then we did a glue up here of those 3 sections. Using Type-On 2 for this project. Definitely one of those times where you're happy to have lots and lots of clamps. Start off on one end with a couple of calls to hold things flat, and then just worked our way through, flattening each area. My brother raising and lowering individual boards while I tightened the clamps in that section, and worked our way down to the end of the bench. We're at just a smidge, I think we're 3 1/8 inches thick at this point, and then a call at the other end. We're figuring the sucker weighs somewhere in the 250 range, 260 range at this point. I just thought this was a cool shot. Doing some epoxy, filling the knot holes in that last scene, and went to a friend's shop and borrowed his 37-inch wide planer, 37-inch wide belt sander. Good to have friends. Probably about 4 passes on the top side and 2 on the bottom got us where we needed to be on this. Here we're working on the leg assemblies. We did a total of 6 legs in 3 pairs. Some of the pieces that were more warped, we were able to cut the warp out by cutting the smaller pieces and then jointing and planing them all till they were in good shape. The legs are actually a glue up, and it's an additive member set of glue up you'll see coming up here in a moment. It's 1 full leg top to bottom, and then short piece, I think about 9 inches long, then a 3-inch space for the horizontal member, and then a 20-inch piece, and then a 3-inch space at the top for the top horizontal piece. We had to build this on site in his garage, no easy way to transport it. The bench is overhanging the legs by about 18 inches on either side. Here we're getting rid of the rounded over edges of the wood, give us a nice square stock. And here's the glue up I was talking about, to forming the mortise and tenon, so to speak, the dados and grooves, by leaving the space for that. Again, glue is really doing most of the work here. The brash is holding it till the glue dries, in the words of Norm Abram. For those of you old enough to know who that is. Next up, we had to cut the secondary notch for the front to back horizontal pieces. Looks like a pretty thin cross section there, but again, the strength is in the everything glued up together, not the individual piece of each one. I had a pair of pencil marks on my insert marking both sides of the dado blade, and that's what I was referencing to cut the grooves. Went through quite a bit of glue on this project, as you can imagine. Shooting 18-inch brad nails into the setup. So again, there's 3 pairs of these. On the 2 ends, as you'll see in a minute, we've enclosed them in a couple of end panels, which also helped with racking to seal them up that way. We're cutting up the plywood that's going to be the bottom shelf and the back of the bench. Again, the plywood providing a good space for storage, also making for a huge amount of racking difference. The sum total of its parts was very strong and had no movement in it whatsoever once it was all done. Definitely didn't skimp on the glue here. Hope he doesn't plan on moving anytime soon because this sucker ain't going anywhere. That was, of course, the bottom shelf now, and then here's the back pieces. Again, this is where we get our anti-racking resistance out of it. Everything was glued to nails. There are no screws or bolts in this bench. Everything was given one coat of polyurethane to seal everything up, and then 3 more coats on the top. So a total of 4 on the top. The gap at the top there is just to maximize the use of plywood. There was no real need for it to go all the way to the top. He added some diamond plate. This is really not a woodworking bench. This is more of a mechanics workbench. There will be a nice good sized vise on one corner. The back of the bench there is an 8-inch tall backdrop so things don't roll off the backside. Here it is in position. We did a slat wall back for hanging his tools on. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you're not. Have a great day.